Come, have a nice day. Today is Sunday, 10th of November 2024. World Science Day for Peace and Development is celebrated annually on November 10, highlights the significant role of science in society. The 2024 theme is Empowering Communities through the Science Hypothetical theme. From the history point of view, on 10th of November in Indian history is celebrated as the birth anniversary of the following personalities, including Sir Surendranath Banerjee. Also, on 10th of November 1848, 6 August 1925, often known as Rashtraguru, was an Indian nationalist leader during the British rule. Now, starting with the newspaper world news, including Trump wins Arizona, sweeping all 7 battleground states. Trump has made his will of migrants clear. Will it stop them from coming? Iran Foreign Minister denies of Trump assassination plot, calls for dialogue with the United States. Putin signs a mutual defense pact with North Korea. Republicans are on brink of gambling United States House control. Biden and Trump to hold a post-election meeting in Oval Office on Wednesday. Now, starting with the newspaper analysis, with the newspaper, the Hindu states that with the briefly Prime Minister Modi to lead a roadshow, address rallies in poll-bound Jharkhand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will seek votes for BJP candidate Sudarshan Bhagat. Prime Minister Modi to lead mega roadshow and rallies in the Jharkhand ahead of the state assembly elections on November 10. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lead a mega roadshow and address 2 rallies in poll-bound Jharkhand on Sunday, November 10, 2024. Prime Minister Modi will address a Republic rally in Bokaro at 1 p.m. And another in Gumla at 3:15 p.m. He will lead a mega roadshow in Ranchi in the evening, according to the state of the BJP. The roadshow is scheduled to begin at 5:15 p.m. from ODC ground and culminate at New Market Chowk. Qatar halts its mediation efforts on Gaza, says the Hamas officer no longer serve its purpose. United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken with the Qatar's Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani in Doha on October 24, 2024. In Washington, a United States official said the Biden administration informed Qatar 2 weeks ago that the Hamas office's continued operation in Doha was no longer useful and the Hamas delegation should be expelled. Qatar has suspended in its key mediation efforts between the Hamas and Israel. It is said on November 9, after the growing frustration with the lack of progress on the ceasefire deal for Gaza. It was not immediately clear whether the remaining Hamas leadership hosted by Qatar must leave or where it would go. Hamas had good relations with Iran and Turkey, and some of its leaders are now in Lebanon. Now, going to the Hindustan Times newspaper states that in pursuit of the next big idea to guide and transform the world, the big idea that will see us through the era of tectonic changes is conspicuous by its absence. The eternal aspiration that the freedom and the justice must begin was encapsulated in the Magna Carta negotiated between the King John of England and the rebel Britons. It is the ultimate ideal that inspires. The said compact ordained that no free man shall be seized or imprisoned or stripped of his rights or professions or outlawed or exiled or deprived of his standing in any way, nor will we proceed with the force against him or send others to do so, except by the lawful judgment of his equals or by the law of the land, and unto no one will we sell. To no one deny right or justice. Since shed on June 1215, it laid the foundations of the due process, and these immortal words became the grundnorm of classical jurisprudence. Supreme Court says bulldozer justice has no place in the society governed by the law. The court mandated 6 essential steps before any property can be raised even for the development projects. The Supreme Court on Wednesday laid down the first ever guidelines against the arbitrary demolitions by the state authorities, ruling that citizens' voices cannot be throttled by a threat of destroying their properties and that such bulldozer justice has no place in society governed by rule of law. Sorry. Justice through bulldozers is unknown to any civilized system for jurisprudence. There is a grave danger that if a high-handed and unlawful behavior is permitted by any wing or officer of the state, demolition of citizens' properties will take place as a selective respiral for extraneous reasons, said a bench headed by the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, in detailed order uploaded on Saturday, the eve of the Justice Chandrachud's retirement. Now, going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, power supply from Adani's Jharkhand thermal plant hit a fresh low amid a payment dispute with the Dhaka. Cuts in power supplies come as Bangladesh scrambles to pay over $800 million in dues to Adani Power amid a forex crisis. The share of power supplied from the Goda in Bangladesh's total electricity consumption has also dropped from around 8.5% a month ago to an average of 6% over the last week, according to the Power Grid Bangladesh data. Despite sell-off, more foreign portfolio investors are set to enter Indian market. The number of FPIs registered with the SEBI was 11,219 as of March 2024. Only 138 FPIs had registered with the SEBI in full fiscal 2023-24. This means an average 12 to 13 FPI registrations every month. The sustained sell-off by foreign portfolio investors, FPIs, since October this year has not deterred new FPIs from the seeking permission to invest in the Indian markets. The offshore participants are optimistic that the Reserve Bank of India will adopt a balanced approach to ensure the cost of raising funds is under control and is made easily accessible to India. And see the upcoming quarter's announcement. Going to the science and tech, we have India will fail to meet 2025 TB elimination target. Even in 2023, India has not met the 2020 milestones of the end TB strategy for both the TB incidents and deaths. In March 2018, Prime Minister Narendra Modi set an ambitious goal of eliminating TB by 2025, 5 years ahead of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals declined set for 2023-2030. Mr. Modi reiterated the government goal of eliminating TB by 2025, even in March month of 2023, while inaugurating the One World TB Summit 2023 in Varanasi. The Sustainable Development Goal targets for 2030 is a 90% reduction in TB deaths compared with 2015 and 80% reduction in the TB incidents compared with the 2015 as per the World Health Organization's post-2015 and TB strategy. Compared with the 2015, countries are required to meet the 2025 milestones of reducing the TB deaths by 75% and reducing the TB incidence rate by 50%. But as per the World Health Organization Global TB Report 2024 and the Indian TB Report 2024 released by a few days ago, India will not be able to even meet the 2025 milestones set by the World Health Organization and TB strategy, let alone achieving the ambitious goal of eliminating TB by 2025. Ahead of Conference of Party 29, India to emphasize Paris Agreement red lines on climate finance. With the 29th edition of the Conference of Parties expected to commence in Baku, India is expected to stick to its stance of getting developed countries to increase the climate finance. India is expected to stick to its stance of getting developed countries to increase the climate finance, with a highly placed official saying, "We are flexible and open to different kinds of finance." The official told The Hindu a key concern is that developed countries are trying to include a developing country, China and India, using new terms such as major economies in a bid to get them to be a part of NCQG. With the 29th edition of the Conference of Parties expected to commence in Baku, India is expected to stick to its stance of getting developed countries to increase the climate finance, a broad term for the money for adapting to the impacts of the climate change, but without the deviating from the principles agreed to in the Paris Agreement text. In the Conference of Party 15 at the Copenhagen countries agreed on a climate finance target whereby the developed countries would collectively mobilize $100 billion per year by 2020. To meet the needs of the developing countries, however, there was a never clarity on how climate finance would be defined. Countries differed on whether conventional business investments in the clean energy projects are to be counted as a climate finance or whether these sums would be over and above money that was anyway being challenged. Channeled to economic development. In the 2022 year, the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) claimed that the target of the $100 million had been achieved. World Health Organization 50 countries warned the United Nations of increasing ransomware attacks against the hospitals. Ransomware is a type of digital blackmail of here is a representation. Such attacks on hospitals can be issues of life and death. World Health Organization head Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who addressed the United Nations Security Council, said the World Health Organization and some 50 countries issued a warning on Friday, November 8, 2024 at the United Nations about the rise of ransomware attacks against the hospitals, with the United States specifically blaming Russia. Such attacks on hospitals can be issues of life and death, according to the World Health Organization head Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, who addressed the United Nations Security Council during the meeting called the United Nations States. Surveys have shown that the attacks on the healthcare sector have increased in both scale and the frequency. Ghebreyesus said, emphasizing the importance of the international cooperation to combat them. Cybercrime, including ransomware, poses a serious threat to international security, he added, calling on the Security Council to consider it